Another step closer to collapse. That's how some analysts are describing the European Union as Spain becomes the latest crisis flashpoint. CNN reports investors have pulled more than €100 billion or $124 billion out of Spanish banks in Q1, an auspicious record.
The trouble is that even as Europe's finances are in intensive care, Europe's politicians can't seem to agree just how drastic the surgery needs to be.
And the European Central Bank president said this week time is running short to avert an even larger crisis. Spain is now asking for help. The Christian Science Monitor calls it a high-stakes game of chicken. Spain faces a raft of economic problems, but the government insists that if the European Central Bank provides the lifeline that Spain's reeling banks need, the other issues will resolve themselves because structural reforms to the economy are already in place. All it needs, other than affordable credit, is time. Time and good judgment on how to proceed. Spain's economic minister appeared on the Wall Street Journal this week noting Spain has myriad issues to overcome. With unemployment topping 25% and youth employment more than 50%, simple taxation and austerity may not work.
The Spanish government is going to make a wholehearted effort to reduce the public deficit, to rein in public expenditure, but it has to do it with care to avoid making additional pain.
Any further bailout is a bitter pill to swallow for more stable economies, says Germany's Deutsche Welle. Problems for a European heavyweight like Spain could shake the foundations of the whole Eurozone. Most experts fear that if Spain needs to be bailed out by the European Rescue Fund, then the fund could be torn apart by subsequent financial burdens. That has led many EU officials to consider accepting any supporting measure. Former U.S. Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan says the EU's problems have been there from the start. And he says founders missed an important ingredient when mixing together the member countries.
From day one, the euro has not really worked. And the problem is that it's creating a huge degree of lack of competitiveness for Southern Europe because their culture is different.
And as the crisis continues, cooperation and coordination seem to be waning. Time notes a universal refrain. Leaders aren't doing enough to stem the freefall. Spain's borrowing costs on the international debt markets, a sign of investor confidence in how well it can pay off its debt, have hit worrying levels, while its stock prices have been taking a pounding. Spain is a weak link in Europe, not only because of its banks, but also because of poor economic growth prospects that show little sign of improvement. For Newsy, I'm Megan Murphy. Multiple sources, The Real Story.